When Dorothy was a child, she didn't have many friends, and not because she wasn't sociable. In fact, she loved to talk with people, but simply because she lived in a small place, so there weren't many children. What you have to know about Dorothy is that she wasn't a child like all the rest. She was special. She could talk to the wind. The wind was such a traveler and a storyteller, and the child loved to hear all those stories from distant lands. One day, the wind asked Dorothy. And Dorothy, eh? One day the wind asked Dorothy, "You always hear me out when I tell you my stories, but you never speak about yourself. What do you desire?" At which Dorothy answered, "I dream of meeting those people from those wonderful places that you tell me about." The wind nodded and then disappeared. 3 years passed, and at the day of her 8th birthday, Dorothy felt a light breeze on her skin. The wind was back, and it was not alone. With it, there was a child unlike any other children that she ever saw. Wait, I forgot to mention that Dorothy was European. Where European? From Belgium. Okay, so this child that she met was African. The two children became close friends, and the child taught Dorothy how to dance. After a few days, he had to get back to his parents. I mean, he was 8, and they saluted, promising to see each other again someday. 3 years more passed, and the wind went away and back, until at 11 years of age, it brought her another friend, this time a young boy from the Middle East. He taught Dorothy the beauty of the music, and again they became friends. And when he left, the boy gave her his flute as a gift, with the promise that she would have learned to play it someday. At 14 years of age came the last traveler, this time a young woman from the Far East. They immediately liked each other. The girl could never stop moving her hands. She loved drawing, sculpting, constructing. Dorothy admired her, and from her she learned the value of perseverance and hard work. Many years passed, like 10. Dorothy was now 24, and at this point she had almost completely forgotten the 3 travelers she met when she was younger. Dorothy was now hanging out with her friends. And the economic crisis came. As usual, every time there's a crisis, people have to blame someone. And so her friends blamed the immigrants because there were less workplaces. She knew that the answer wasn't that simple, but she followed what her friends were saying. And the wind of war arrived. People from the Middle East were considered terrorists without considering if it was true, and who were the ones who brought the war there. Lastly, Dorothy and her friends blamed the Far East for competition. But the point now is, why Dorothy suddenly became racist and close-minded? Mostly because she influenced and was influenced by her friends. In the research, 280 students were brain scanned with fMRI while reacting to a real-life situation, in this case, watching a video. Scientists could predict how friendly someone was to someone else by looking at their brain response. So best friends had very similar neural activity, normal friends similar activity, friends of friends quite similar, going on. This is also why small communities are on average more conservative and wary of strangers, because their brain connections work similarly. They all know each other, they bring on traditions, and etc. Finally, let's give the story an happy ending. Dorothy found the flute of the Middle East guy in a box that she forgot in somewhere. She remembered the 3 travelers, she went and found the wind, and together they traveled and met many new people. The end. So new people, new neural networks, more critical thinking. In the research, 280 students were... In the research,